Hello,
Oh,
Good
Osage is right
evening.
there.
everyone. Okay. Hello,
Okay.
everyone.
Hello.
Good
Well,
evening.
good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, I can see Osage now.
Good to see
Hey,
you, Sage.
Salam!
Yeah.
Nam!
Osage Odobo.
I throw
Good
a
to see
salute,
you,
sir.
Osage. Long time, real long
I
time.
throw a salute.
Good to see
Okay,
you. We have Aremu Iwa right there
What is
with us.
Osage doing in this studio?
Oh,
Wait, Osage, what did they fight? You be politician. Good evening,
I
everybody.
will join you guys soon.
Good
I'm
evening,
driving,
everybody. Yeah.
please. Huh?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Wow,
Okay.
wow. Oh, did we lose Osage?
Where's Osage?
There's a Osage has gone out. I don't
You
know.
probably come back in.
I guess we lost him. Well, anyways, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to another edition of FGCID Global Leadership Forum. And thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. Please feel free to participate by posting your comments and your questions in the chat. And I'm going to call on Dr. Felix Idolo just to tell the House briefly what this initiative is all about. Dr. Felix.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. It's good to see you. Good evening, my old friends from FGC Doani. Your closest friends are those that you bond with when you were kids. Really, really excited to be with you guys, Honorable Nnamdi Maduago, Aremu Iwa, Edison, and good evening to all of you. Good wherever you are. Good day to you, wherever you are in the world. We're really happy to be with you live from the Federal Government College Duani Alumni Leadership Forum. This is just a forum to stimulate leadership. You know, somebody said that leadership is not about position. It's not about whether you have political office. It's not about uh, authority. It's not about whether you are the president of a country or the governor of a country. Leadership is about an attitude toward life. Somebody said that while people complain and complain, cursing the darkness, leaders simply turn on the light. And that's what leadership is all about. Is switching on the light on society's problems, is pointing the direction to other people where the answers are. And that's what leadership is all about. Leadership is not necessarily about power, it's about influence. So that's what we're trying to do in this forum. We're just encouraging everybody, wherever they are, to be leaders. I mean, I remember the story of the lepers when Israel was under great famine, and there was food somewhere. It was the lepers that led the whole nation to where the food was. That's leadership. So anybody can lead. That's what we are all about. So I want to encourage you all, wherever you are, to participate and be part of this. And God bless you wherever you are. We have some very, 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 very notable people in Nigeria's political landscape with us. We are going to be introducing them shortly, and there are people that many of you are already conversant with. But at this point in time, I'm going to give it back to my sister here, Nike.
Hey, well, thank you so much, Dr. Felix. Well, to introduce our Honorable Nnameka Maduago. Am I saying it right? I'm trying. Nnameka,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Good evening.
No, we used to call you Nam, so that I'm not so
Yeah, right. Good evening.
Nnameka. So
I
I'm
still
really
answer
trying.
that. I still do. The name has talked to me. Yeah.
Nike,
Yeah,
Nike,
I
you're
think
supposed to drag it.
I'm better
Don't just say
I'm better
now. You
off
say
now.
now.
Yes, I
We used
know
to
that.
drag it there.
Some
I'm better
people
off with.
use
Let me do the
Nam, but
let me do
that,
now the honor.
okay.
Nam was my close friend in the Federal Government College in Duani, and I remember very well. I keep saying that there's something about what you do as a child that points to what you're going to become in future. Nam used to be a great debater when we were in Federal Government College. He used to lead the debating team. When we went to FGC Akure to debate, he was one of the leaders in the debating team. And anything politics, Nam consumes it. I remember very well when we went to the library, when other people are going to read books here, the first place Nam went to was where the newspapers were. He went to go and read newspapers. He was always very interested in politics. He had a lot to say about the parties. I mean, GNPP, UPN, Alhaji Waziri, Obafemi Awolowo, now knew everything about it all. So I'm not surprised that he's a lawyer, but he's turned out to be a very astute politician also, becoming a one-time Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, and then going on to be two-time executive member of the Imo State Executive Council. So we're really, really excited. He's still very much, I think he was also involved in the Abuja executive as the transport secretary. Yeah, he was the transport secretary.
That's correct.
So Nam has really been very active in the political scene, and I know there's still a great future for him in politics, and he will be doing us proud. So Namika, you're very much welcome. It's good to be with you again as adults. We got into trouble together, but hopefully we'll help move things together in the country.
Amen.
So thank you very much. Good to have you, Nam. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Felix and Nike and Muiwa and Osage here. I'm very, very pleased to be here. In fact, when I was almost caught up in the traffic, I said, no, I must get here because
The Nigerian factor.
this
Yeah.
promise
Yeah.
and I have to be here.
I
Having a
think
bit
we're
of technical
I think
issues
we're breaking
there.
up a little
Yes,
bit.
I'm
Yeah.
about to see you guys again.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good. Thank you, Honorable. And I have the pleasure of introducing my brother. I call him my brother because that's who he is. Are Muiwa Olumilua. He was he was appointed senior special assistant to the governor of Ekiti State on project monitoring from 2010 to 2012. Senior special assistant to the governor on integration and intergovernmental relations in 2012 to 2014, and currently he's the commissioner for information and values orientation in Ekiti State. He's
No,
my brother from sorry.
currently, Nike, sorry, I'm the Commissioner for Investment, Trade and Industry, and I'm the immediate past Commissioner for Information and Values
Oh,
Orientation.
okay. All right. I read that wrong. Thank you. Well, thank you for rescuing me there. That's okay. I call him my brother from another mother because we grew up together in the same neighborhood, apart from going to school together. So that's my brother, always got my back. Welcome, Aremu Walumilua. We appreciate your presence here today.
Thank you very much, Nike. Thank you, Dr. Felix Idolo. Thank you, my big brother, my school father in FGCID, Honorable Nameka Maduagu. Osage, we can't see your face anymore, but I know you're listening in. Thank you very much. And all the listeners too, I'm saying a very, very big thank you to you. I'm pleased to be here. It's always a pleasure to, heed the call of FGC Idwani whenever I'm needed for anything, whenever I can add value. And I pray that today will also be a value addition to all of you listening to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes, I was going to mention that it's not funny, but imagine Muiwa was Nam's school son, and they actually share the same birthday. So and
Yeah.
yeah, that's just a little fun fact about them. All right, so.
And I used to be your table head.
Oh yes. Dr. Felix was my table head. So
And we were both in greenhouse
we were
together.
both in greenhouse, yes.
Yeah.
And you also went to Unibed with Osage. So
Yes, Unibed. Osage and I were in Unibed together. Yeah, I was one of the movers and shakers in Unibed.
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So yeah, why we're here today, a lot of us live abroad, yes, But that's not denying the fact that we're still Nigerian. We're not disconnected from our roots and our heritage. Even our children, and some of the children who have never been to Nigeria, they still feel, the connection is there. They identify with their heritage and their roots. And so whatever, I mean, we're not unfamiliar with what's going on in Nigeria. We feel the pain just like our brothers and sisters, our parents who live back home. So we're proudly Nigerians. Nigerians living abroad and everywhere, we're still Nigerians, and we want to be part of our heritage and our culture. So we wanted to bring you out here today and just to ask you, talk to you about. I know leadership and politics, it's all about nation building. But I don't even know if to call it building a nation or rebuilding, because I, I really don't know at this point what it is. Looks like everything, is like falling apart and all that. So we're talking about building a nation or rebuilding our nation. So we wanted you to come as seasoned leaders in the society and just help us understand what our position is in all of this, what we can do, how we can be part of this conversation. And we're talking about rebuilding or building our nation, but what can we do? How can we be part of the change? And so that's why we've asked you to come and speak to us here today. And it's not just about FGC Duani, it is every Nigerian would, this is a subject, a topic that should be of interest to them. So we will depend on you today. We have a lot of questions, and we might have some questions from the viewers as well. And you've been seasoned leaders. We would expect you to help us with that. So I'll turn it back to Dr. Felix.
So now, Honorable Namika Maduagu, you were always, I mean, like I said at the beginning, you were always very, very politically inclined. Now you are a seasoned politician. Can you just take us down memory lane in terms of Nigeria's history? Politically inclined. Now you are a seasoned. I think there's an echo from somebody's phone.
Yes, sir. That was from my phone. That's taken care of now, sir.
Okay. So now, Honorable Namika Maragu, I was just trying to say that you, giving your knowledge of Nigeria's history, Nigeria's politics, can you just take us through down memory lane to see how we got to where we are now in terms of our democratic development, and what challenges and opportunities the moment that we are in now offers to us as Nigerians?
Okay. Thank you very much, Felix, my brother, Anike. And I'm not seeing you again. I don't know. Yeah, from my own experience and what you just asked me, I think we all know where we were coming from. If I start from the history of Nigeria and how it started and got to this, then I would take so much time. I would take so much time. But I want to do an abridged something. Let me see if I can get it.
I think we're breaking up.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, we know negotiated constitution. There were constitution.
Yes,
can you hear me?
You now. You're breaking up a little bit. You go in and out, but we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay.
He's frozen.
Are you okay now?
He's frozen.
Yes,
Felix?
yes, we hear you now.
Okay.
Okay. So what I was saying is that at the beginning of networks here, but I said at the very beginning of this country, we had a negotiated constitution. There were different constitutional conferences organized by the British that culminated in our independence in 1960, where certain agreements were reached on how this country was going to be governed. Unfortunately, 5 years down the line, there was a military coup, and then civil war, and then a long period of military rulership of this country. And most of the negotiated agreements, most of the basis on which Nigeria was negotiated, the military neglected them, did not respect them for the period, because the military cannot even respect them, because the military is a unitary system of government. They have a unitary command, and then they ran this country. In 1979, when we were quite young, the 1979 Constitution came on board, and then another attempt at civilian governance, though short-lived, just 4 years. Again, another set of military intervention. And then this lasted until 98, 99. We had the Babangidas, the Buharis, the Abachas, all of them, and so on and so forth. Now, the experiment we are having now, which appears to be the longest we have had civilian governance in this country, in my sincere opinion, was rushed. Because we wanted the army to go, there was no time for proper consultation, no time for proper forming of political parties, no time for drafting a proper constitution. Everybody wanted the military to go, and then people rushed. Parties were formed without any agenda, without any manifesto. People just came together, and parties were created to as a means of getting power from the military and then running elections. Fundamentally, it has affected governance in this country. The way the parties, starting from the parties were formed, has affected governance in this country. The way people came together, because you are a PDP, as like the ones we have now, APC, and all this thing is just the same thing. Yeah. Isn't really any
I think we're having some issues with the. Okay.
thing
It's
you
breaking up.
can say
coming
this is, I can identify party A situation where people gang up to grab power and then gang up. There's no basis. That I can't see Nika.
Oh, you can see me?
Okay, I
I'm
saw you
here.
now.
Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
just saw you.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that we're having
So-
issues. Okay.
What's happening? Are you hearing me? Can you hear me better now?
Yes, we hear
Yeah,
you
yeah,
now.
we're
Can you hear
we
me?
hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, we hear you
Yeah.
now.
I don't know. I'm hearing you fairly well. So, like I
Yeah,
was
we can
saying,
hear you.
the parties were not based on any ideology, but that's what we
Okay.
have, and we have to work on it. Today,
Okay.
people move from one party to another, move from one district because you just go there to contest the election. Even the constitution is not respected. And in a situation where you have this type of situation, definitely it's not going to lead well. It's not going to. There's a reason why countries do constitution. In law, we call it the ground norm. It's the guiding law. There's a reason why the politics we're playing in Nigeria, there's no ethics, there's no basis. Everybody's just doing what he likes. And that is what is happening. All manner of people. But my problem, and that is why I'm happy to see people getting involved, is that in Nigeria, things are the way it is. Because those who should help So many people have left. It's like you're going for a football match. You have your best players, they are not playing. Second best players, they are not playing. You go for your third or fourth best players, you can get a good result. That is what
That's
is
right.
happening in Nigeria. Today, we who were privileged to go to federal government colleges, we had the best the country could offer. Good quality education at our time. Anybody that went to a federal government college could compete with anybody in the world.
Mm.
The country offered it as subsidized at next to nothing, next to nothing. We were not paying. Whatever we're paying, we're so small.
Mm.
The same thing in the university. Our education was totally subsidized. Today, that most of us are sending our children to private schools, we now realize what we are gaining for free,
Mm.
what this country offered us. My anger with the elites is that we have gotten so much from this country, but we have given so little.
Mm.
We don't want to be insulted. We don't want to take risks. We want to sit in the comfort of our homes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Honorable Namika, I don't know, he's breaking up again, but he just
Yeah.
mentioned some very important
We
some very important
don't
things. Now,
want to do anything. Many of us have run away, with all due respect, to countries that are organized. My flow, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Are
Go
you
yeah, I
ahead.
hearing
can
me,
hear you
Felix?
now. I
We
was
hear
just
you
trying to.
now.
Wow,
We hear
that's
you
part of,
now.
Yes, yes, I can hear you now very well.
okay. Well, that is part of our challenges here. I've changed seat twice here, trying to get the best position in my house where I can get a better network. So
Okay, those are part of the challenges of leadership in
Nigerian
Nigeria,
that's
factor,
part of the
actually.
right?
challenges of Nigeria.
Another
So,
Nigerian
but
factor.
yes,
So
that's
now,
part of the Nigerian factor. So
yeah,
what I
part
was
of that.
saying,
Now, but however, you've mentioned some very important things. If I may just come in here, I'm very happy you talked about playing our best players, and that's where we Nigerians need to get involved. I think Nigerians have become a little bit too apathetic about the situation in Nigeria. Like you said, many have gone to countries that are more organized, and then if you leave, if the best people leave the field and you have your fourth team and your fifth team, how do you think you're going to win? You can't win. We need everybody to get involved. And today's global, the technology that we have today has even leveled the playing field so that wherever you are in the world, you can still participate in the political situation in Nigeria. So we're calling upon people from everywhere in the world, Nigerians, get involved in the political process, because as things get bad, you're still going to be receiving messages from your brothers and sisters wherever they are to see how they're going to be able to help. So wherever we are, let's get involved. And I'm happy that Honorable Namika Madrago mentioned something about the federal government colleges. I
Yes.
personally think that one of the best things Nigeria has done with its oil money in the 70s was to invest massively in education. And one of the greatest errors we've made so far is cutting down the subsidies we put in the tertiary education. It was a great mistake. That's the reason why we've produced first class graduates from across all boards. And the country is still reaping from that investment till this very day. And Nigeria gave us its best as at that time in these colleges, wherever we are. It's time for us to give back to our society by getting involved in the political process however we can. Not all of us can be active politicians like Aremu Iwa and Honorable Namika Madwagu, but we can still contribute whatever we can do, wherever we are. Leaders do what they can from wherever they are with whatever little they have. So those are very important points that Honorable Namika Madwagu mentioned
Yeah.
that I thought I should relate to all of us. He also talked about the current political dispensation. It's not perfect, But I don't think there's any political dispensation anywhere in the world that is perfect. Even the Americans till this very day have issues with their democracy, but they are working on it, tinkering on it all the time to move toward that what they call that goal, which every one of them has in mind. It has to be the same thing with us in Nigeria. We have to work with what we have to get to where we want to get to. So those are some comments I want to mention on the Honorable Namika's comments that he made a few moments ago. So let me hand it over to you, my sister. Okay.
Yes.
Comes in, there are some
Yeah, I have one of my brothers here who made a comment. Baba Jide Bodede, he said, for those of us not directly involved in politics, we may not be able to influence the choice of candidates by the parties, but we ensure that the best candidate that emerges gets the office. And I mean, went on to say the church is important in molding choices. So, I mean, what do you have to say to that? I guess that's just a comment. It's pretty straightforward on that. So
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and I think that was exactly what he was talking about. Thank you so much, Honorable Nam. So, let me go to my brother here, Aremuiwa. We could say that you have been very intimate with the Nigerian political process because your late dad was very involved in Nigerian politics. He was a governor of Ondo State. So um, I would say as an insider, can you just give us your perspective on the journey so far and why Nigerians should value the
I can
opportunity they have to vote for their own leaders?
Yeah, thank you very much, Nike. Thank you for the question, Dr. Felix Idola. Thank you too. I believe my brother, Honorable Maduagu, is trying to say something, but I think the network is not
Oh,
being too friendly over there. But
okay.
all the same, let me take
We
your
can have
question
him say
until.
something before you go ahead and answer the question.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead, please.
okay.
Honorable
Like I was.
Nameka.
Okay.
No, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead,
I
Muiwa.
think there's some issues with.
It's fine. Muiwa, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Nike. Like
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Your question was, what can we do as people to be a part of the process, right? I think keeping it short.
Yeah.
Now, there's this saying that people deserve the kind of leadership that they have. It's said all the time. And, the truth of the matter is, these leaders are chosen from the midst of the people within that society. But I will not say, well, yes, that's correct. But all the same, I believe we can do better. Because the reason why we have poor leadership, so to speak, is because a lot of us who are better informed, who are better positioned, who can think better, let me put it that way, do not care about the political process. Most people are armchair politicians. You sit down in the comfort of your homes and you complain. You complain, you complain, you nag, you say all sorts of things, but you don't do anything about it. Now, what Mr. Babajide Bodede said is that for those of us not directly involved in politics, we may not be able to influence the choice of candidates by the parties. Then why are you not involved in politics? Now, if you go down to the grassroots, right? Because, well, my politics is being practiced in the state, so I'm closer to the grassroots than people who are practicing it, at the federal level. Now, the choice of candidates is determined by delegates. Now, these delegates are chosen from the wards, from the ward level, to, let's say, you have statutory delegates as well in some cases. Now, when you go to the wards, you find out that the people who are the ward executives are Okada riders, petty traders, illiterate people. And that's the truth. You hardly ever find people like Dr. Idolo or my gorgeous sister Nike being a world PRO or a world chairman or a world woman leader or what have you. You find illiterate.
Oh wow.
Okay.
This is
Making some very
Sorry,
important points there.
Can you hear me?
He's
Yes, we had you
again.
now.
Yes,
Okay.
we can
Well,
hear you now.
while we're waiting on him to come. Okay, go ahead.
I
Can you
have
hear me?
Riwana. I'm hearing him.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, I'm hearing
So
you
as I
we
was
well.
can hear
saying,
you.
thank you. As I was saying, these are the people who choose who the candidate is going to be. Now tell me, what kind of person will an Okada rider choose? Because as I'm speaking, I'm x-raying the exco of my own ward right now. I'm looking at the chairman, the vice chairman, the women leader, the youth leader. Most of them are barely literate. Now, these are the kind of people you just call, take them to your house, give them a heavy meal of pounded yam with a goosey soup, with bushmeat, give them some bottles of beer, put some money in their pocket, and they're bought.
You see?
So whether I'm a crook, whether I'm a villain, whether I'm a ritualist, a kidnapper, what have you, they can't be bothered because I've already bought their conscience. But I can imagine if my classmates or my schoolmates from FGCID, who are graduates, who are professionals in all spheres of life, were my exco members, member of the ward exco of my ward, I know that pounded jam will not sway them.
That's right.
You understand? So you see, we have to be a part of this process. Now, the choice of candidates, just like Nam said, now our first 11, you bench them. Second 11, you bench them. Third 11, even you bench them. Then you bring out some people who can be regarded as the fourth 11, and they field them. The people will choose from amongst people that are fielded, and that is it. So if you have, let's say you have 4, 5 parties or 10 parties that field 10 horrible people, you choose one of the horrible 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the major problem that we have. It's like a beauty pageant. You have the beautiful women in society not partaking. Then you have some, God forgive me, some ugly women who go out there. You pick one of the ugly lot. So that's the problem that we have. We do not want to be a part of this process. People will sit down and say, politics is a dirty game. Politics is a dirty game. No, politics is not a dirty game. It's the people in it that are dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Politics is itself. Politics is just it's like a process through which leaders are chosen, and all that. But the process can't be dirty if the people involved are clean. So I believe that at this point in time, instead of sitting back and making a lot of noise and arguing and making and passing snide comments about politicians and the political process, I believe our people should now endeavor to be a part of the process. Now, even when it comes to elections, I know a lot of people do not even care to vote. I know several people who are my friends, who are affluent, who are educated, who say, me, I can't vote, so why should I waste my time? When we go out to vote, I'm sure Nam will tell you the same. Look at the queues. You only find all these what word should I use for them? These less privileged people on those queues, standing in the sun to cast their votes. The big men in society at home, waiting for the results to be announced and to pass some criticism about the results. They don't join. They don't be a part of it. They don't bother. Now, as proof, I don't think we've exceeded 25 million votes in Nigeria ever. We have never exceeded 25 million votes. And for a country that has a population of maybe about 200 million people, That means 25% is just barely above 10% of the population who actually go out to vote. So what does that tell you? Now we have to get rid of this apathy. If you actually want to change, if you actually want our voices to be heard, we have to go out and make that choice. We have to go out and actually be a part of the process. We have to go out and vote. Maybe, and just maybe, if the good people in society can form the critical mass that will make the change, then things might actually change. Just like Honorable Maduagu said earlier, there's no perfect political process, there's no perfect democracy. There's no perfect constitution anywhere. Even the American Constitution has been amended several times. So it's a work in progress. It evolves. But I think that each and every person, and that involves especially those of us who went to unity colleges, FGC, federal government colleges, I believe we should be a part of that because we have been, together. We have lived amongst the different tribes. Nam is Igbo. I'm
Yeah.
Yoruba, but Nam is like my brother.
Yeah.
Dr. Idolo there, maybe he can't remember. There was a time, Nikki, I'm sure you remember, when we went to FGC Benin for this competition. I think that was in 1984, thereabouts. Osage, myself, Osai, and some other people, we went to meet Dr. Idolo in Uniben. We were still in Idwani. We went to meet him in school. He now took us to the CAF. He gave us his ticket. We ate till we could not think. I think they gave us jollof rice and a quarter of a chicken. Then we drank orange juice and everything. He now took us back to one place. He bought Capri Sun for us. Then that nonsense Osage boy, he was pressing the Capri Sun in the air so to enter his mouth. He's too full. He doesn't have energy to talk. Sure, you understand? Now
Yeah.
Dr. Idolo is not
No,
Yoruba now. He's not.
the point is well taken.
Sure, you understand? So we were
Yeah,
blind towards tribe. We didn't know.
Yes.
that's right.
There were
Yeah.
TV people, there were Calabar people, there were Hausa people, Igbo, Yoruba, what have you, ethnic,
Nuri,
name it.
Bira.
You know. So we just saw ourselves as fellow schoolmates and all that. We used to make fun of one another. We used to, hype one another and all that. And you see, if we can still imbibe that same spirit into working on, making Nigeria one, I think things will be better. Because right now the country is so badly polarized that honestly it scares me.
Mm.
I'm afraid for what will happen, in the future. I'm afraid for my children. So I think we all, as a people, have to be a part of this process. If we're going to make this country better and really want to make it better, not just word of mouth and posting all sorts of insults on Facebook, then we should actually join the political process.
That's
In
right.
America, people who are not politicians have very strong views about which party they support. A Democrat would never ever be a Republican. He would rather die. Same thing, a Republican would never be a Democrat. They don't cross those lines. But just like Nam said, we crisscross today. I'm in SDP, tomorrow I'm in APC, next day I'm PDP. What is important is just the platform on which to run. Nobody actually cares about the ideology of the parties or what manifestos they have. But like I said, you see, when we try to purify this process, it will take bringing in good people. When the good people can form a critical mass, I believe things will be much better. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much,
Great
Aaron. Thank you.
contribution. Great
Yeah, I mean,
contribution.
exactly. You
Yeah.
just answered some questions I had on that because I mean, I was going to talk about the mistake we're making in Nigeria, where a lot of people just leave the job to the other person. You're right. We're good at making comments. Saying how things could be better, how it could be done, but not actually being part of the process. Because I was going to ask how ordinary Nigerians can be part of the process. And I think you just did justice to that question. So that's why I said my question on that has been answered. So thank you so much. But one thing you said that stuck with me was the fact that, yes, what would you expect if the people who are leading are the kind of people you have, explained to us, where the elites would not come out and be part of the process. So, what can we
Mhm.
do? how can we encourage people to actually get involved? A lot of people will tell you, I'm not interested in politics and all that. But yeah, you're right. So if the ones who can do the job are sitting on the fence, or they're sitting now not interested in politics, so we'll be left with whatever we can get, right? So
Yeah,
what
correct.
thing can be done? How can we really engage the people who have been trained, the people who actually can do the job? I mean, do you think, I don't know, you think there's something keeping them away from it? Maybe you talked about politics being dirty and all that. You think that might be something that's scaring people away from it? 'Cause I don't.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Nike. Now, from my own experience, now there's some factors that keep good people away from politics, good, honest people. One of them is the financing. Now, politics is a very, very expensive business. And I'm sure Nam can tell you that much. I don't want to know how much of his money has gone into it. I have an idea of how much of mine has gone into it and is still going into it. And I hurt every day. You understand? Now, uh, you see, unfortunately, going back to what I said earlier, now, when you have people who can barely make ends meet, and you have a large number of them, and they form the block of those who might be voting for you or who might actually be the ones that will put you forward, then you are at their mercy. If they want to have wedding ceremonies, you pay for it. If a snowstorm blows off their roofs, you have to fix that roof. If their kids want to sit for WAEC or JAMB, you pay for it. If they can't eat at home, you have to buy food. You have to give them money. It's in Yoruba land that someone will call in one and say, daddy, you're going to be more, as in, daddy, your wife don't born pikin. My wife cannot born any pikin. It's his own wife that born the pikin. But it is, according to the guy, it's my wife. So that means one, hospital bill, I have to pay for that, and possibly the naming ceremony as well. So you see, it's a very expensive business. So how many people can actually afford to carry this burden? Now, until things change, until the process becomes less expensive, or we now enter the phase of group funding, because a lot of people, truth be told, I'm saying this and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart with every sense of sincerity. Now, some people, what do? They go to the godfathers, the political godfathers, and they go and kowtow and say, I want to go for this, I want to go for that. Now, these godfathers will say, okay, fine. If he gives you his blessing and he funds your election, just know that you're shackled for life. You have to do everything he says. The minute you stop listening to him or you go against him, then he wages a battle against you. And these battles can be very, very nasty. Some can be bloody as well. That's the truth. So for some people who be like, okay, no, I'm not going to any godfather, then how do you fund it? It might end up just being a pipe dream. So that's one of the major issues. Another one is the fear of being insulted or rubbished. I'm telling you, Nam, I'm sure will tell you as well. It can be very nasty. You see one little rat who is not even educated, he will stand up and insult you openly. And you just have to swallow that pill, that bitter pill, and you won't say, Pim. Honestly speaking, they'll just say, hey, keep quiet. From where to where? Who are you? How much have you even spent on anybody? You are now here talking. Then at times, it's either you explain yourself nicely or you just keep quiet too. The terrain can be really, really messy, so you have to develop some very thick skin. Then some people actually do not believe in the process. Some people feel that your votes don't count. That no matter what you do, no matter how many votes you get, the process will be manipulated against you. So they'll be like, why should I even waste my time? But you see, the truth of the matter is, if these votes don't count, then actually go to the poll to actually, vote at all. Votes do count, because we've had situations whereby, I mean, look at the election that got Jonathan out. Didn't the votes count?
Yeah.
It was so overwhelming that nothing could be done about it. Even Jonathan himself felt there's no way he could try to,
You are hearing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we're
can hear
Now
you.
I can hear you.
We can hear
Can
him.
you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can.
Okay.
We can hear you.
All right.
Go ahead.
President Jonathan felt that the results were too overwhelming, for him to tinker with. So he just actually accepted it. So I don't want people to have that at the back of their minds that their votes will not count. Before you accept or just believe that your votes won't count, go out there and vote first. Then whatever happens after that, then we'll see. So these are things that I believe affect people from getting involved in politics. Then at times the fear of violence in politics scares some people. Because we've actually had situations where some people have been shot, some people have been killed, and things like that have happened. So some people will be like, why waste my life over something that is not actually for me, but for the people. So why sacrifice myself? So some people just feel, let me forget about it. So these are the factors I believe affect, the mindset of people and actually stops them from being involved in the process. And I'm saying, and I'm pleading, you see, Nigeria belongs to every one of us. When
That's
it's
right.
good, we will all enjoy it. When it's bad, we will all suffer it. If things were really, really good in Nigeria, Dr. Idola will be maybe in Luth, or maybe
That's right.
UBTH, maybe University of yes, or maybe University of Benin Teaching Hospital. My darling Nike will be in Nigeria. Before Nike left for America, she was a top flight banker. She was a big madam. She had plenty of money in the banking system. She took her money around to the US because she was looking for greener pastures.
Not so. I
But
went
if
to the
things,
Bible. I went to the Bible college. I
but if
left to
things
go to
were
the Bible college.
if things were really good in Nigeria, I believe these people will still be here. Top quality people. Dr. Idola was one of the smartest guys in FGCID during his time. I think he was a scholarship holder then. Good quality, brilliant people. They've all left the country. And it's because of the situation we find ourselves in. So I believe we should all be a part of this process, a process of nation building. A better Nigeria most likely might bring, all these people back. And if they're too old to come back, maybe their children will come back
That's
and,
right.
be a part of, building this nation. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Yeah.
You hit on so many points there. I know Dr. Dollar was making some notes, and talking about people leaving. Yeah, you're right. You're right. If the nation was better, we probably would have a lot of people back home. Like I said, we might be able, our hearts are still back home and we want to be part of the process. So I remember I was speaking with my brother Osage the other day, and we were talking about what can be done. Like, is there anything in place where those of us who are abroad can be part of the process? Like, can we be part of the process as in vote to elect leaders and all that? Because it looks like we are, like we are shielded from the process, and the people back home are just the ones electing leaders on everybody's behalf. So I was like, what can we do so we can also come in? I mean, when the US started its election, people, Americans who were outside the country could go to their embassies and vote there. So I was like, is there anything like that? And he said, well, the issue was raised at a point in time and that was squashed. So that's not on the table of discussion. So I'm thinking, why? I don't know. Being part of the political leaders in Nigeria, Do you know why the process was squashed? And is there still a possibility of this being a thing in the future?
Okay, I'll have my leader answer that question. Honorable
Yeah.
Madwabu, please, you could take that,
I've
sir.
totally lost everybody.
Oh,
You
okay,
not
I'll
hearing?
ask the question again. Can you
Can
hear
you
I'm
me
not
hear
now?
us
seeing
now?
Can you
again.
hear me? Can you hear me?
We can see you though.
We can see you, Nam. We
We
can see you.
see you. Can you hear me? Okay, while Nam is getting ready, I mean, I see some comments and questions there. We'll take them. Can you hear me? Nam, hello? Can you hear me? Okay. I see my sister has a question there. I'm holding on to that because that will feed back into something I was waiting on him to answer that question so I can ask Busola's question. But Gwegalo Kumbola said, "Hi guys, great people must get involved with politics so we can grow and develop Nigeria. This country is massive with huge potential." I agree, but we need great minds to drive the system. Blessings. That's exactly what Aramuwa was talking about. That the great minds that can actually drive the nation, they're sitting back, they're not getting involved. And so this is a free for all for those who are not even, I mean, who are not as capable as those who actually have the capability and the ability to run this. So what what we have to do to get people like that involved was what I was asking. And I see that we lost Honorable Mabegus there. So, and while we're waiting on him, Remuiwa, can you give us your insight on that? And we'll still call on him to to give us his own insights on that. So
Now, thank you, Nike. If I may ask again, are you talking about Nigerians in diaspora voting, right?
yes,
That's right.
yes.
That's right.
Yes, because
Diaspora vote.
Okay.
usually when there's an election, all we can do is scream and shout and do. I mean, that's all we can do. We're really locked out. So
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I believe that will be a very big leap forward because as it is, we've been having a running battle over whether um, the election, results should be electronically transmitted or not. you know. So I think we finally got that one through. We got that one passed, the electronic transmission of results, But now people in the diaspora voting might be another massive, massive, massive step forward because, you know, we're still
Okay.
trying to clean up the home front. Let me put it that way.
Try again.
We're
What
trying
are
to
you
clean up
showing?
the home front. We're trying to sanitize the electoral process, before we now, take that leap to having people in the diaspora voting. Because you know our people now. Trust us, Niger.
Try again.
Only God knows what kind of atrocities will be committed if we now say, okay, diasporans, now you can vote. Until we find a way to actually, hold it down, sanitize it, and actually have true results coming in from outside the country, it might be another way of messing things up for everybody. So I think for now, we're working on how to perfect the process within the country. Now, when we have perfected that and we're sure that okay, things are going fine, and uh, we have it properly, held down, then we might think of people outside. But there's that discussion. The discussion is going on, and a lot of people in the diaspora are agitating to be a part of the electoral process. But for now, I think what you guys can do is fund those of us that are here in Nigeria and we're involved in politics. Your money will do a lot of good for us.
actually, I know Dr. Dollar has something to say on that. Dr. Dollar, did you hear what I said just now? Hello, Dr. Felix. Dr. Felix, are you with us?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm with
I don't
you.
know if I can say
Yeah, did you?
something
Okay, okay. Go
about
ahead, Honorable.
Nam, please say something.
Nike, I don't know if I can say for Felix, I don't know if I can just chip in something.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
Uh, can, I wanted to just chip in something because I lost two people at a point. Something. I read the story of the Netanyahus,
Okay.
Bibi and his brother. His brother was a pilot. They were trained in America. They were American Jews. They were not originally Israelis. His brother was a pilot who went to do his national service, something like this thing in Israel, to serve the Israeli army. Because it's compulsory for every Jew to serve for some years. Now, at the point he was serving, there was a kidnap. Some Jews were kidnapped. This terrorist thing was beginning. And the plane took them to Entebbe. Entebbe is in Uganda. And the Israeli government decided to go and rescue them, sent people to go and rescue them. And they were successfully rescued, but one person died from the Israeli team. And that person that died was a Netanyahu. His brother was schooling in America. The family were in America. Am I being hurt?
Yeah, we
His
are, we
brother
are
was,
hearing you. We're hearing
after the senior brother died, the junior brother still went to Israel to go and do the military service. And that one stayed back and joined politics and rose to become, the rest is history. He became the longest serving Israeli prime minister. Now, my question, which I always ask whenever I'm out of this country and I run into Nigerians, is this country gave us a lot. Most of these Jews, the country didn't really give them much. But you can see the patriotism. A brother died, another brother went to do the military service. Are we patriotic? What are we really doing to help? Muiwa was saying something about funding. You don't want to participate. What are you now doing to support those who are participating? Because, you know, sometimes I ask myself, is it really called insult? You are seen as one of Nigeria's problems because you chose to participate, do just our job, and maybe be a little bit comfortable and just stay like that. But you take all the things that happen. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. I go back to Israel again because I use them because the Jews were the largest diaspora at the turn of the 20th century. There were so many, and they had no homeland. And at the point they needed to create a homeland, it was a challenge for a homeland. Even before the United Nations came in, they formed what they call the Zionist movement in America. American Jews. And what were they doing? For the point I'm trying to make is, if we truly love this country, we can participate from wherever we are. You can't be active like us, be in the, be part of it, join the parties, be partisan, and then get into the mud, follow it and fight it out. You can do that. You can also be a professional. You can be doing your work and be contributing. There are so many ways to contribute. Like Muiwa said, for you to run an election in Nigeria, you provide 80% of the funding you need. And when people get into office and sell their properties, we
Okay.
talk of corruption, they go there to recoup it. That is, can you hear me?
We
Lost
can,
again.
You're coming back alive. You're
yeah,
coming
you're
back now.
coming back. Go ahead.
Okay, you're hearing me? Okay.
Now
So
we
the point I'm
can.
trying to make is Everybody has a role. Everybody can do something. Those of us here, as we are doing the fight, as we are part of it here, those of you there, what you're doing now, what you're doing, that's why I said I was going to participate in this. Immediately Felix told me. Because we have to connect with our best. Unfortunately, our best, many of them are not around. And there is so much people can do. There's so much people can do. You can come back, people do come back and participate. Because if you have the critical mass, like Muiwa said, of enlightened people in politics, it will elevate it. It will elevate it. If you can't participate, there is so much you can do. You can help, like Muiwa said, in the funding. You people should be able to come together and then come together and support people you think can do the work, people you think are patriotic. Because what is pulling a lot of people down, if we must tell ourselves the truth, is the funds that are required. Anybody that works hard for his money thinks twice before you use it for election purposes in Nigeria. But those who are opportune to get it, from a criminal perspective or anyhow, they gamble better. And that is why today in the political space in Nigeria, too many people who should be in prison are in the political space in Nigeria. People who have no business being part of the leadership are there in the political space. Because if you're a drug dealer and you make money, and then you want to clean up, you go and run for elections. If you're a 419er and you make money and you want to clean up, you go and run elections. There are known 419ers, known drug dealers who are in the political space today, calling shots. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. When we have our professionals, our Nigerians compete, and there's no way I've been in the world and I've not seen Nigerians competing at the very highest. So why can't a little bit of our people, our best, be part of what we're doing? We can have this discussion here because of our background, because of where we are coming from. I definitely can have this discussion in my world. Like me, I was saying, who am I going to have it with? The person didn't have the opportunity of education. He can't think the way I'm thinking. He can't appreciate what I'm thinking.
No, thank you so much, Honorable Namika Maduago.
That's
so true. You raised a lot of.
What he's waiting for when I finish talking is how much is he bringing? Okay, Felix, I think I have to round up because the network is so bad. So let me stop.
Okay. But before you come in, real quick, Reverend Dr. Felix, Reverend Felix too. There's a question here by Busola. It's just spot on, right with what Nam was talking about. She said, my question is that why is it that the so-called elite who went abroad return with worse values than that of those who never left? Because Muiwa and Nam were talking about you can come back and but Busola is saying that even those who went abroad and when they come back to run, that they return with worse values. What do you have to say to that, Muiwa? I don't know if it's all of them, but it seems like maybe it's prevalent or something. What do you think?
Well, let me just chip in that anybody who said that is a genuine observation, very genuine observation. So people have come back, you expect so much, but I think what is happening also, even abroad, the people who are seriously doing something, a lot of them shy away.
The connection is.
Find that a lot of the people who come back, they come when you expect people. Yes, when you expect people and you don't see them. Well, my connection is very bad. Maybe you can answer that question. I stopped because I'm not sure I'm being heard.
Yeah, we could hear you.
Now, can I take that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can no longer hear. Yes.
Okay. Now I feel. Okay. I feel that the reason why what Busola said happens is that, you know, it depends on the values of that person
Okay.
themselves. You understand? Now, not all of you that live outside the country are into legitimate business, unless we want to deceive ourselves.
That's right.
Living
You're right.
outside the country is like a cover for several people, you know? So people don't actually know what they're doing. When they say, where is your brother? He's living in America. Where is your brother? He's in Finland. The guy might be a career criminal over there.
Hmm.
That's right.
And maybe when his cup is full, he comes back to Nigeria. Now, while he was outside, he was a criminal. I don't think he'll come back to become a pastor in Nigeria. No,
That's right.
that's the truth. So it's not as if people who go outside the country come back with worse values. No, they never had values in the first place.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
the unfortunate thing. Yes, because you see, now I have siblings living outside Nigeria. They are okay, they're comfortable, but they're not fabulously wealthy. For those of you outside the country who are fabulously wealthy, I thank God for your lives. But how many of you are legit? So it's the criminals outside too that will come with a truckload of cash that they've made from whatever means, come into Nigeria and further bastardize the bad situation we have here.
That's true.
So I think it's not, I don't want to paint all of you living outside Nigeria with that same tar brush. I know a lot of you that are legit. I know Dr. Idolo is legit. I know Nike is legit. He has always been. Nike has always been, even when we're small, has been always like a sister kind of person. So I know she can't take anybody's money, you know. But I
That's
have
right.
I have friends abroad who drive Rolls Royces. And when you now ask them how about what kind of business is more now business now. Business that doesn't have a name, doesn't have any category. I know Busola that asked the question, I know what Busola does. Busola works hard for her money. She
Yeah.
works very hard.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't think Busola will now come to Nigeria and suddenly become a career criminal.
Yeah.
So those who come from outside the country, who come in and start, messing up the already messed up values we have here, are people who lack value themselves, who lack these values. You know, so I don't think it's a general thing. I don't think it's a you can't generalize.
That's
It's a case of some particular or peculiar people, if I can put it that way.
very well said, Are.
Thank
Very
you
well
so much.
said. Titi Orchestra said, yeah, Mui, thanks for your brilliant views. We'll automatically be ruled by mediocres if we fail to take our rightful positions in the society. Thank you so much, my sister. Dr. Felix.
So much has been said. I'm so excited that we had this forum with brilliant minds like Honorable Namika Madhugo, Are Muiwa. When I hear views like this, I still have hope for the future of Nigeria. And basically, what we need to do is mobilize more brilliant minds, good people to get involved. If there's anything I'm taking away from this Facebook Live session, is that we need to get more good people out there to be involved in the politics of our country. Otherwise we keep having third rate, fourth rate, fifth rate, sixth rate people leading us. There's somebody, Mike Murdoch, popular evangelist, said, never complain about what you
What you
permit.
allow.
And if you can practice that for 1 week, you'll be so amazed what a transformed person you are. If you can't complain about it, then you have to start doing something to make sure it goes right.
That's
Never complain about what you permit. If as Nigerians will practice that for 1 week, I think we can transform our country. We keep complaining and complaining, but what are we doing? Talking about the diaspora, I think the diaspora, we need to get a little bit more organized. Let me just give you some figures. Some people say that as many as 15 million Nigerians are living abroad. I don't know how true that is. I visited the United Nations website that reduced that to about 1.5 million, which I also don't believe. But they say, but I have this authentic figure that in 2020, Nigerians abroad remitted the sum of 20 billion US dollars back home. Nigeria ranks
Exactly.
first five. We come back talk about first five nations that receive the greatest amount of remittances from abroad. Nigeria ranks among the first five, and I think we are number one in Africa. So there's a lot of Nigerians abroad are already participating in the situation at home. I just think we need to look inwards again and see how we can organize ourselves to make sure that, look, some of this money we are sending back home, how can we redirect some of it to make sure that we impact the political process, to make sure that we get the right leaders in place? That's one thing Nigerians abroad have to start thinking about. I don't think, yes, I thank you very much for RM Wima, who is encouraging some of us to come back home. The same thing with Honorable Nam. Yes, some will definitely come back home, but I don't think everybody will come back home. But those of us, wherever you are, we have to start looking inwards again to see how can we mobilize some of these resources and channel it to make sure that we get the right people into political office. So just a comment from me as I give it back to my sister Nike.
Hey, so I don't know if Dr. Felix has any. I think you heard mentioned some of the things that you were gonna raise. Like I said, both Honorable Nameka and I think they touched on those things, like talking about the how you can be sure that your vote counts and all that. But I'll just say, just for the benefit of those who might not be registered yet, because some of them really don't believe in that. Can you take us through the process of getting the BVN and maybe registering to vote? Did you hear my question?
Well, to register, I don't. I don't think Nigeria has a diaspora registration for now.
No, not that.
There's no
I'm
diaspora.
talking about those who are back home for the benefit
Oh,
of those who are not
oh
registered.
no. Okay, it's quite easy. Just to go to the registration point because it's continuous. Anybody can go at any time. If you go to the registration points, mostly the local government offices, and then sometimes they bring it closer to the respective rural wards. So people register. Where to register is not a problem. It's the willingness to register. The act of registering is very easy. It depends on whether they are willing. And from my experience, what I see in elections, our problem is not even registering because so many people are registered, but they don't vote. You have 1 million registered voters, and then you have 200,000 voting. So the problem is even coming out to vote, staying on the line to vote, having that patience to be on the line for 2 hours, 3 hours to vote. That is even the problem. That's the problem with the elites. When they come out and they look at the line, they go home. They can't be in this line. They come out, they notice some rascality, they go home. Meanwhile, their presence will moderate distance, but they are not ready to make that sacrifice. So to register is quite easy. Anybody that is willing to register, you make inquiries, find the nearest registration point, and go there and register. And it takes just a few minutes and you register. So that's not really a problem. But those who are also registered must vote. They should vote. That's where the challenge is. Because when I used to live in during elections, people see it as public holidays. The day you sit in your house and watch movies, like family day. They don't come out to vote. That's the problem with it.
I think Namika Marugo, we're having some issues with this connection there.
Very good. Yeah.
When
we were talking about electronic votes.
They don't participate in the politics, they don't vote. They are not in the parties. So how will this trying to get a
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, we hear you now. Hear you now. Go ahead.
You are talking about electronic voting?
Yes.
Well, electronic voting,
it's new. So with that, do you think that might encourage more people to actually come and vote? Because that would not involve them, staying outside on the queue
Well,
or
electronic is not yet reach that stage. That's the destination eventually, I believe, but we're not yet reached that stage. What they are talking now is electronic transmission. So when you vote, there's automatic
okay.
transmission, at least to reduce the
Okay.
changing
Okay.
of this thing. But automatic, I believe that the destination will still be electronic voting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. To buttress what Nam said, right? You see, I don't see any reason why our elites have this apathy for queuing to vote.
Of their homes.
Right? Because I mean, when I try to, when I go to apply for, visa, and we have this interview, I can see that long queue of Nigerians waiting patiently. They'll tell us to get there maybe 7 a.m. or something. Before, like me, I try to keep to time. Maybe I get there maybe 6:45 or what have you. Some people would have been there by 5.
That's right.
And they'll wait patiently, and they'll be very orderly. They'll behave themselves. That is where you get the best out of Nigeria, whether at the UK embassy or the US embassy. If you step on somebody's foot, they say, "Oh, sorry." As you say sorry, that person says sorry to you back.
Very correct.
What's normally, if you brush somebody ordinarily, maybe brush somebody's shoulder, they land you a slap normally. But in the embassy, everybody is a decent person, and they can wait there for 4 hours for their turn
without complaining.
You understand? So why can't you wait, right, to perform your civic duty to make your own country a better place?
Better place, yeah. You got it. You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's right.
We all go to apply for visas. We know how Nigerians behave there. But when it now comes to going to queue on a line to cast your vote, to make a change, to make your country a better place, you be like, me, I can't stand it. That's all. Me, I can't do. Me. Why? So you see, we need that reorientation. We need a change. We need a mindset change. You see, our major problem is that our people, for whatever reason, have just maybe lost hope in Nigeria, or maybe they never had any hope in Nigeria in the first place. So that is why we're where we are. I remember when we were smaller now, we were proud of this country. Even after the Civil War, the love we had amongst, each other or one another or what have you, as tribally, was thick, was palpable. I didn't know what an Igbo person was per se. I didn't know the difference between a Yoruba person, an Igbo person, or a Hausa person, or whatever. We were one and the same. If you got into trouble, all of us would be flogged. If you did well, you'd be rewarded. So we were, treating people and basing our friendships with people on merit, personal merits, that person's character. How is this person? How is this person? Not is this person Yoruba or this person Igbo?
Yeah.
So we actually need to go back to where we were, honestly, and maybe chart this path all over again. People are unconcerned. They can make noise, they can complain, they can say all sorts of horrible things, but what efforts are they putting into making this country better? And those of us, like Nam and myself and some other people, I'm sure there's some people on Facebook listening that might be affected, that are politicians as well. We're all seen as thieves. They're all thieves. You understand? We're all seen as thieves. But meanwhile, we are not part of this thieving culture. That's the truth. We're not part of this thieving culture. And the unfortunate thing for people like him and I is that now when you're in the midst of thieves and you're not really one of them yourself, they try to sideline you as much as they can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So all the groove happening in that something, you will not taste anything, oh, because they know that you go and squeal, you'll be doing brother there. They don't want you.
Mm.
You
Well,
understand? So
Right. Right.
we're between a rock and a hard place. People outside see us as thieves, and we stolen money. We're this, that. We have to pay for this. We have to pay for that. Blah 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 blah. And the system that you work with,
Mm.
they feel this one is too holy. This one cannot even. He can't be a part of this group, Jared. Keep him aside. So
He's not
that's why I said
supposed to be a politician.
exactly. People say to me all the time, well, you're not a politician.
They will
Why are you like
say
this? Oh,
you're not
oh, a
supposed
politician.
to be a politician. Yeah.
They'll say, well, you're a technocrat. You're not a politician now. You don't know how we do politics. Because to them, politics is to steal, lie, and do all sorts of nonsense. And there's no way we can win that battle
Sad.
unless there's no way we can win that battle unless good people join us in this.
That's right. We need more and more people, good people to get
Godly
involved in
leaders.
politics.
Godly leaders.
Yeah.
That's,
You know, I
that's
remember.
it. The only way
Yes. You know,
the only way to move forward is for more and more people who have good backgrounds to join.
yeah.
If we don't do
In our, I think there was a time. I'll just say this briefly. In our class, in our own 82 set, there was a time when we're talking a little bit about politics. Somebody said, let's keep politics out of this forum, because to that person's mind, politics is like a dirty word.
yes.
You know, that's the way most Nigerians look at it.
Exactly.
Nigerians, they look at politics like a four-letter word. You know, so when you bring it up, they don't want to participate. I had to go back and take the definition of that word, politics. That word politics is from the Greek word politia, and it simply means citizenship. It's just the discharge of your citizenship duties to your nation. That's what politics is. So in that sense, we all have a right to discharge our citizenship duties to our country. Yeah, sure, not all of us are going to be like politicians in the mold of Honorable Nam or Aremwiwa, but we need more and more good people to get into the field to support people like this, so that we can have a voice. We need to have a critical mass of good people in politics so that we can have a voice. And that's what we need to start encouraging.
Let me tell you something. Sorry to interrupt you. Let me tell you something. Let's practicalize these things. Felix, you live in South Africa. Those of you who live in South Africa can come together. You will see one proactive guy, one guy you think that can make a difference, or two or three. You encourage him to join, and then if he needs to be funded, you fund him. That's how more people will have the courage to come. Those who live in the United States, different parts, these are things people should be doing. There should be the Nigerian community. Everywhere you are should be interested in what is happening in Nigeria and should be able to send people to participate. There must be some people who are willing to participate, who can make some difference.
Yes.
To come and join those of us at home. Because let me tell you, what I met in '99 when I joined politics is 100% better than what I'm seeing now. It's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting worse. The people that are being recruited are worse than those that were recruited 10, 15 years ago. The people that are coming in.
Having a bit of a problem there.
A bit of a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. While his connection is buffering, I'll quickly take two comments from her. My sister Titi said, "Now you're very correct. Those in your ward with the same mentality are those who will understand your language. It will only take those operating on the same page."
When I was in the House of Assembly, we have professionals, doctors, lawyers. I don't know. Were you hearing me?
No, we couldn't hear you for a little bit, but we can hear you
We
now.
couldn't hear you. You went off.
I was saying that when I ran elections first, as a very young man, I ran elections first in 1997 at the age of 31. Then we had professionals. There were doctors, there were lawyers, there were permanent retired civil servants and all those things. But today, the people I'm seeing running elections, they have no address. I don't know where they're coming from. All I hear is they are from Malaysia, they are from this, they are from that, and they have money to spend. That's what I see. Meanwhile, I know that there are so many genuine people, legit people, doing the right thing out there who can come and help. What I'm saying is that you people should create a Nigerian community wherever you are. And then from that Nigerian community, you can, relate with those at home. You can back people. One good person occupying an office helps. One good person office helps. And little by little, because if you don't do it, I'm telling you, the thing is going down. It's getting worse. And that is why Nigeria is going down. The people that were a bit distant, that age is phasing out. Our generation and those who are coming to us is getting worse. So I'm feeling we're at a critical position. Since I was born, in my adult life, I've never seen Nigeria this bad.
It's terrible.
We're at a critical position. Everything has collapsed. Education is collapsed. Nobody goes to public school, from primary school to university. It's not like it's private school at tertiary level. It's from kindergarten to university. Health system has collapsed. The roads in public infrastructure is getting worse. Then security, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Coming to Joani as a student, my parents used to leave my house by 5 a.m. That's when we used to drive out. And by 11, they're in Idoani, they drop me and they go back. Nobody can do it in Nigeria of today. Nobody can.
True,
So
very true.
Worse. So that's what I'm trying to say. We need to, if anybody that loves Nigeria should be able to make sacrifices now. Ask yourself, what sacrifice can I make? Can I come and join? If I cannot join, is there anybody who is willing to join around me? Can I encourage people to come and join? It's gotten to that stage. That is what I am appealing. I'm using this platform.
Well said, Honorable Nam. Well said, yeah.
Well said. And actually, someone here says, well said, Honorable Madragu. And before we go on, Namdi has something to say on voter apathy. He said, voter apathy has to do with lack of confidence in the entire system. People go all out for what they believe in. Nigerians are yet to believe that their votes count or matter. Till that happens, the apathy will continue.
Absolutely. And I think we've dealt with the subject of voter apathy.
You see, I believe I said something.
Yes.
I said something about that earlier. You see, when the evidence is overwhelming, then there's nothing you can do about it. You see, we only rig in our strongholds. I'm talking to you as a politician. We only rig, right, in places where we believe, okay, we have a majority here. Now, if you try to rig in a place that is not your stronghold, ask now what will happen to you. You will not try it again. So that's why I'm saying, if it is overwhelming and, the people's choice is glaring and everybody teams out, they turn up and they say, we're voting. And this is who we're voting for. Why won't it count? It will count now. You see, you can tinker with figures that you're not too sure. Okay, but you won't come to my own ward or my local government if I'm contesting, and you feel, okay, let me come and rig him when he was local government. People will tear you apart. If they know, okay, this is our son's local government. We still have this mentality. And now our son, whether he's a thief or a crook or a rapist or whatever, now our son, he's a rapist, but he's our rapist. Sure, you understand? They'll still embrace you. So you won't go to that person's stronghold and try to rig there. So now, if you have a candidate that, people all over are overwhelmingly supporting, then those votes will count.
That's right.
That's the truth about it. So if we're going to go out, let's go all out. If we're going to do something, let us do it with our full chest, like we say in Nigeria. Thank you.
Let me also say something on that. It's like the case of the chicken and the egg. If you are waiting for when the electoral system is perfect before you come and vote, then you're not also helping. By your coming out, by your participating, you are helping to get it perfect. It can never be perfect.
Exactly.
Who is going to get it perfect? You don't have confidence in the electoral system, so you say you won't vote. So who are you leaving it for? Who is going to get it perfect? Who is going to improve it? When you come to vote, like me was saying, look, Felix, you are from Warri. If I remember very, very well, used to be, is it James Street or something like that? Your address that we used to. If you go to that place, they know you.
You still remember?
I remember it very well, James Street. It's like, if you go to that place that you are known and you are registered, and I'm sure they respect you, you have pedigree there, and you vote and you are standing. Some of those boys, when they see you, they'll be careful. Your mere presence there can help to sanitize that place.
Mm-hmm.
And so are all of us. Your mere presence in your village, in the community where you grew up, you vote and you stand, and 2 or 3 of you are standing, and you people are people who are respected, who solve their problems. You can sanitize that environment. But if you sit in your house and say it doesn't count, then the thugs will come and take it. But those thugs, when there are people they fear, there are people they respect. But when those people they respect and fear keep quiet, stay, it doesn't count, it doesn't count. It's like I said, it's like the case of the chicken and the egg, which one we come first. But I believe that the only way we can improve is by participation.
That's right.
That's what I believe. If good people, more good people participate, that's the only way we can improve.
That's what this event is about. That's what we're trying to get people out. Get out there and participate. Don't sit there and complain. Get out there and do what you can to help your nation move forward. It's time for us to stop complaining about our country and do whatever we can to help our country. I mean, like all of us here have traveled. We've seen other countries that work. They work because people went there to help things to work. So let's go out there and do what we can to get our country forward. Yep.
So go ahead, brother. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I think we pretty much, I mean, I really like the way we've gone. Many of the questions we set out to ask, Arem Wiwa, Honorable Nameka Madrago, they've really, really touched on them. I don't want to go back there and touch on them again. I just want to bring us back to a question here about, let's look a little bit inward. Our federal government college, we have our own local alumni here, Federal Government College Iduani, of which we're all brought up. Then we have the larger Unity School Old Students Association of Nigeria. I was just doing some research on that. You know, we have over 500,000 members in that USOSA. 500,000. I don't know how many we have in our own local alumni. Home and abroad, that is a huge number, potentially in terms of our ability to influence the country. And we have members across every part of the world, every part of the country. I mean, it was in Federal Government College Iduani. I have friends from the north, Muslim friends. We never fought each other because we are Muslims or Christians. Never fought each other because of that. We never fought each other because you are from the north, today we have friends. We have Shaka, we've just been a detribalized set of Nigerians. Now, how can we tap into this resource? I want to put that question to both of you. First of all, to Nameka, my dear friend here, and also to my brother, Arem Muyiwa. I want both of you to tap in. How can we tap into this huge resource to move the country forward?
Well, I think we are tapping into it. So many products of federal government colleges are involved in all aspects of nation building. Like you said at the very beginning, that's one of the best things the army did. Unfortunately, like everything in Nigeria, the federal government colleges have also gone down. I, for one, when my children got to the age of secondary school, I wanted them to go to federal government college. In fact, I wanted them to go to Idoani. But when I visited Idoani and saw the state of the school, I canceled the idea. I didn't allow them to go there again. I wanted my children to go to Idoani because I enjoyed my experience there and I wanted them to have it. I was proud of it. But what I saw of the school when I visited it around the time they were about to go to secondary school put me off. I couldn't do it again. So like everything, it comes back to leadership. There have been so many, I can list maybe up to 10 products of federal government colleges that have become governors in Nigeria. That many have been ministers. So many have been the products of federal government colleges. Some of them, when they talk today, you say, I thought you went to a unity school. Why are you talking like this? Everybody has gone back into his cocoon, into his tribal. So I don't know whether the experience fully succeeded, but I believe that experience was worth it. I believe it's one of those things we should live up to. One of those things we should walk back to. Make those schools attractive again. Let people go to it. Federal government colleges are no more what they are when we went there. The federal government college at my backyard in Owerri is 90% or 99% Igbo or even Imo. It wasn't like that when we went there.
Yeah.
The federal government college in your own backyard, you will be surprised, is 90% the people in the neighborhood. First of all, they are no longer, when we were there, it was a full boarding school. Nowadays, they are 60, 70, they are 50, 50 boarding and day students. So, and that has, they are local schools now, only federal in name. So if we could go back to that, the real reason why they were set up, because it is because of that school that the four of us can talk. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
If I had gone to a school where Felix, you in Warri, we were you in Akure and Nick, most likely four of us wouldn't have been talking today. But because we went to that school, that's why we're even talking. So I believe that because of the failure of leadership, when the right people, and there are so many of them, then another thing is it's good we are doing this type of thing. We have to start holding those who are in public space accountable. We have to. Muiwa is a serving commissioner today. We can one day do this type of thing where we ask him questions on what he's doing. He now knows that his colleagues, his classmates are asking him. We must start holding everybody accountable. We have a product of a federal government college who is a governor, who is this. We should be able to ask them questions. Most people will not want to mess up before their classmates because they are most valued friends. Even if you don't see them, sometimes. So I think we should also create, what we can do is to create a forum to hold them, especially in our individual schools, because though we are all products of federal government colleges, nothing, I don't feel obliged when I run into somebody who went to FGC Enugu or FGC Warri, I don't feel the same thing. But when I see a kid who is 20 years my junior, who went to FGC Doane, I immediately feel a sense of this is one of, I will immediately take to that person. Wherever I run into them, I immediately take to them. On social media here, Facebook and all this, and I have over 40% of the friends I have are those. Once I see you, FGC Doane is like this, and I accept.
Same here.
I don't know most of them.
Same here.
Same here.
I accept. I don't know most of them. Most of them never met me in school. Some of them are young enough to be my children. But I just accept. Because of that sense, you're coming from where I came from. So I think what we can do is what people have started is very, very good. Let's have forums like this where people can come. Let's ventilate codes, or I have been in public office so many times, and you had something, feel free to ask me. We heard when you were there that you were part of this. I'll tell you, don't mind, that's what we did do, or I will have an explanation for it. But at this
Yeah.
time, we know that people are people are. I don't know. Some other person can. I've
Yeah,
made.
No,
yeah.
thank you so much.
I've said what I think.
I like what Nam just said. Thank you so much for that. I really like that. And the truth is, we have a lot lined up. Just what you said is, I mean, that's what I'm part of this initiative, and we'll have that in place. I remember the first appointment that my brother Muiwa got. Muiwa, if you can remember the letter I sent to you, what I said was, I was excited. I told him I was proud of him, and he was, I mean, carrying the torch. And I know I said a lot of things, and I said, do not disgrace us. If you remember that, and I said that was
I
what
can
I
remember.
told him. You remember?
That's right.
I told him, how proud of him I was, and that he was representing us well. And I said, do not disappoint us. So you're right. If we're holding, our brothers and sisters accountable, and they know that their brothers are looking on, they're rooting for them, I don't think they'll go out and mess up. You understand?
That's
So
right.
you're right. We should have a lot of this and bring, like I said, we have a lot, I mean, planned. We have some names lined up, and this is exactly what we intend to do. And this forum is actually a leadership forum. So yes, it is FGC Duani, but it's for anybody at all, because we're all leaders, in our spheres of influence. So anyone who considers himself or herself a leader, or who wants to be a leader, that's what this forum is about. And that's why we're bringing in leaders, so that we can learn from you, and people who really actually want to be where you are, they can learn from you as well. So yes, definitely, this is not the end of the conversation. We're going to still be bringing you back, and bringing a lot more people back from there. And thank you for
Yeah,
saying that.
Nike, please, sorry to interrupt you. Can I say something?
Sure,
Go ahead.
definitely.
Now, to further strengthen what Nam said about holding those of us in politics accountable, remember, if you have not contributed to that person's success, you can't hold that person accountable. I can imagine all of you calling me and say, "Oh yeah, tell us what you have done." And I just look at you, are you normal? Why? What for? What kind of silly question is that? You see, but now, if you have contributed to that person's success, if you have backed that person in some way, you understand, I feel there should be like a fund. If you can put together a fund, like Dr. Idola was talking about the strength of, Ososa, what do you call that
Usosa,
general
that's right.
national body?
Usosa.
500,000 people. Now imagine each person dropping 1,000 naira,
That's
which
right.
will only buy maybe 2 meters and a coke. Then you have a 5 billion naira fund.
Phone. Wow.
Wow.
That is it. You have a 5 billion naira fund. 1,000 naira from 500,000 people.
Wow.
Now, if you now say, okay, we're going to support this person because, that person has appeared in front of them. He has told them about his manifesto. They've x-rayed his character over time, and they're like, okay, we're going to support this person. Even the person's competition will be cheap. That this guy is going to be funded by these people. Let me withdraw because I can't meet up. I can't compete. So now, if we now want to, bring it to a smaller level, FGCID, and we say, okay, fine, we put together a fund to support whichever one of us we feel can actually hold this position and make us proud. And you put your money behind that person, and the person wins. If you call that person once, he will answer twice. If you call him, "Well, come and give us an account of your stewardship. What have you done so far?" Okay, you've done well. Now we have suggestions for you. The person will listen. But imagine you calling me and say, "Oh yeah, we will appear on Facebook or what? Oh yeah, and tell us what you have done." And I'll be like, "Why? Do I owe you? You can't hold me accountable for anything if you haven't actually been a part of my success story." So I think
That's
that's
right.
why we're here right now. You should be a part of the success story of those of us who are venturing into politics. Nam, myself, and several others. We have little kids who are our juniors, those ones that call us ancestors. I know some that have been to the House of Reps.
Hmm.
Have been in different political positions. So we have a lot of them there. But because we haven't actually, as a body, supported anybody, we can't call them to come and give stewardship, account of their stewardship for anything, because we don't have the moral rights to. So I think this is something we can look into as well. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's right. So, Honorable Nameka, you want to weigh in on that?
Well, what he said is very, very correct. You can't sufficiently hold anybody accountable if you are not part of his success story.
That's
And
true.
one of the best ways to be part of it is to support the person, because, like we said earlier, politics is very expensive in Nigeria because it's self-funded. Unlike most parts of the advanced world where people, support anybody they believe in. So
Mhm.
what Miwa has said is absolutely correct.
Yes.
You can hold people to a higher level of accountability if you're part of their success. But also, if like if you have 500,000 people, if a forum of 500,000 persons, and you are running for president, and you know these are enlightened people, you definitely know that their views matter. You definitely want to be in the good books of that forum because they're going to influence people across board. So that's
Yeah.
also very, very
Exactly.
important. To that extent
Yes.
also
Very.
accountable. But what Miwa has said, there's nothing I can add to it. It's very, very correct. One of the reasons why our political class appear to be very selfish is because it's a selfish journey. It's a journey you go, you take the risks all alone, you bear it all alone. If you lose the election, only you and your family. So you find out that so many times when people get there, they view it as an enterprise. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be service. And if you really, really, really want the person to be what you want, if you really, really want the person to contribute very, very well, you have to participate. You have to support. All over the world, politicians are supported, especially in funding, especially if people give their time, people give their resources to get the right persons elected.
Yeah.
So if you must give either your time or your resources or something to make sure that the right persons are elected. And when we start
Well
doing that,
said. Well said, Honorable Nam. Well said. I think the word is already out there. I mean, the challenge is out there for us.
Yeah.
We should let's get more organized. Let's participate. Let's pull our resources together. And they say that the mighty oaks grow from the little what? Little acorns. So I mean, I
yes,
look at the example that Aremu gave: 1,000 naira from
Yeah.
500,000 people. You
That's
have
amazing.
already a fund of 5 billion.
Wow.
5 billion. So you can imagine if we make it 10,000 naira from
Yeah.
500,000 people, how much money you will have. And if we say this is the person, these are the people we are pushing forward, there will
Exactly.
be
oh,
I'm
some
going to say
people
we
will
can
take notice
even
of it.
more than one person.
Yeah.
of
So
course,
we've got to get more
definitely.
organized. We've got to change our mindset and we have to get involved in the process. It's very obvious. Otherwise, like he said, you have no grounds to call anybody to account.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So, well, I know, like you said, the challenge is there. I guess we can keep the conversation going, give us ideas and, what we can do. We already heard some from you how we can get involved in. Please, I know on the chat, Even after the event, please, I want our viewers to know that we want the conversation to keep going. So please
That's right.
post in your comments, questions, and all that. Like I said, this is definitely not the end of this. We'll still, we'll keep the conversation going. Definitely, definitely talking about, well, like I said, I think it would be rebuilding our nation or building our nation. But
That's
there's a
right.
lot we can do. Let us get involved. I know a lot of us are passionate about this, but we can't just keep talking about it without doing something. You know, everyone has a role to play, and
That's
whatever
right.
that role is, if you can't go there, your hair, like they said, if it's your money that can actually do something, let us definitely get involved. Dr.
Thank
Felix.
you. Yeah, I want to say a very, very big thank you to our brothers here, friends, Muiwa, who has represented us very well in politics. I still believe the sky is the limit for him. His father was a great politician, and I know he's going to go beyond the achievements of his father. So Muiwa, thank you so much.
Amen.
Honorable Amika Madwago, I want to say a
Thank you very
great
much,
thank
sir.
you. Thank you so much for encouraging us. Look, guys, we want you all to begin to participate. Let's do what we can. Let's stop complaining. Let's complain less and do whatever we can to uh, move our country forward. Believe it or not, my getting out of Nigeria has actually increased my love for my country, to see my nation survive, because I know, I mean, I don't have a leg to stand outside of the country if my country is falling apart back home. So I want to see the nation work, and the government invested in us. Unfortunately, the federal government colleges are on a downward trend. We want to see that reversed. But to me, the highlight of my life was attending federal government college Idwani. I am who I am today because of that school. And I want us to see how we can move together to get the country going forward. So I want to thank both of you. Namika Madwagu, thank you very much for representing us in politics. I want to see you go forward because I know your passion those days when we were in school. I don't think that passion is dead. People might call us ancestors, but we are not dead.
Well, you said you would take the two seller, right?
Yeah,
We are not dead.
don't
So I mean, we are
mind
still
them.
very much alive. I know you were
We are still
very
very much.
passionate about Nigeria, and
Yes.
I want to see that passion burn in you, move you forward. I want to see you in carrying bigger responsibilities for our nation, because I know these are the people that I know from childhood, and I can always trust them. So thank you very much for coming on this show. We want to see you again in future shows. Guys, we have many things lined up. We have things coming up that one of the things we're trying to bring out now is those our founding set, the first set. We want to bring them out here to get people to see them and to talk about the story of the founding of our college. I hope we can get that done. I'm going to be talking to a lot of people behind the scene to see how we can get that done, and a lot of other interesting things. Please visit our page. We have our leadership forum page. You just like it, and once you like it, whenever we are live, you'll get a notification. We also have a YouTube page that you
Yeah.
can, yeah, you can visit. I think we have the link somewhere there.
Yeah, I'll give the information. Craving your indulgence for a little bit, please. I see people are not ready to let you off quickly. Yes. So my brother here, Namdi. Namdi, I'll need you to say some more because I mean I'll read your question now, but please go ahead and I need you to expatiate on that. So Namdi said, are we saying politics and leadership is transactional? No. That was his question. Are we saying leadership and politics are transactional? No. And Busola is saying, in addition, if you want to hold them accountable, don't make unrealistic demands from them. That was from
Mhm.
Busola. And my brother Femi Oludikwe, Femi said, hello, Facebook locked me out. Oh, sorry, Femi. That's painful. I had to link up with my wife's Facebook. Has anyone answered the reality of the problem of pay as you go delegates?
Delegates.
Yes. Another
Okay.
Facebook user said, I mean, well done to the team. Oh, My dear brother, Reverend Tararika, says, well done, friends. It's been a great conversation. And Charles Ocheze is saying, on having grounds to hold politicians accountable, I do think that the fact that they're in public service is good enough ground for such accountability. We should all aspire to make Nigeria better through leadership opportunities. So,
Opportunities.
like I
Great
said,
contributions.
indulgence. Can you please touch
Yeah.
on those briefly? Nnamdi, if you want to expatiate a little bit on that, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but go ahead if you have anything else to say. Femi also says, Felix, Nike, and everyone that made this possible, thank you very much. You're welcome. Where
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
so, I mean, would you guys just briefly touch on those questions and then
Okay.
comment about politics and leadership not being transactional, and if you are holding a public office, if you're in public service, that's good enough ground for such accountability.
Nam, will you go first?
I'm not even seeing again, but I'm hearing everything. So let me just talk.
We can hear you, so that's fine.
I can see you though.
Yeah, I promise you, we're still here.
Yes. So you said politics being accountable. What was the? Sorry, let me get the question very well before I
So
talk,
the first one
because
was,
I was
are we
trying to get
saying,
my attention.
and I see Michael Jegede saying, once you hold a political office, any of your subjects has a right to demand accountability from you. So the first one was Namdi. Namdi said, are we saying politics and leadership is transactional? No. What do you have to say to that?
Okay. Let's have the honorable gentleman chip in.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I think Nam has been caught off again. So let me give my own 2 cents. Now, let me start from the aspect of being transactional, and Femi Oludipe saying, okay, how do we handle the menace of pay as you go delegates? You see, now, if you distill what we have been saying from the time we started this, the answer to that question is there. Now, if Femi Oludipe is a delegate, will he be a pay-as-you-go delegate? If Nike Wolawi is a delegate, will she be a pay-as-you-go delegate? If Tayo Arikawe, Reverend Tayo Arikawe, is a delegate, will he be a pay-as-you-go delegate? Now, these delegates that we're talking about, I mean, starting from the ward level, are primarily illiterate people. They are the less privileged people. They are people who sell their mothers for a spoon of porridge. So how can you help or stop that from happening if these are the people that are the foundation of this democratic process? Now, if you go to a ward meeting and you sit down and you see a professor, an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, a this, a that, blah, 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 people like that, people of substance, you won't go up there and address them anyhow. Or you won't go there and say nonsense. You go there at your very best. And when you're leaving that meeting, you won't go and give out mudus of rice to these people. You know that they're not there to get your mudu of rice. They're there to actually listen to what you have to say and how you intend to do, to make a difference. But you see, the pay-as-you-go thing will continue if you do not take part in this political process. If you're leaving it to these kind of people that we're talking about, nothing will change. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. That's the description of insanity. Only an insane person will keep doing the same thing now and still say, in fact, by tomorrow, maybe things will change a bit. It won't change. Now, if people like Femi Oludipe, Charles Ocheze, people like that, distinguished people, are part of this process, we will sanitize it from the ward level, bottom up. So whoever is going to be chosen will be a sound person. And the choice of that person will not be influenced by pay-as-you-go politics. So I think that speaks to the question of Onamdi too, that is leadership transactional. Now, the process, the journey to that leadership, to an extent, is transactional because there's a lot of money involved. Let's not deceive ourselves. If you want to sit down here and start telling lies to one another, then I think there's no need for this forum and no need for us wasting our time sitting down here. The journey to leadership, that whole process is costly. And we can call it transactional in inverted commas. But when people, good people, people that are not starving, are part of that process, things will change, I believe. Maybe now we'll have something more to say. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'll say it again by network, but I think I know what you're discussing. First of all, let me say, once you make yourself available for public office, you're accountable to those who elect you. People will ask you questions and you ought to answer. But we have to understand what Muiwa is saying. And what he's saying is absolutely correct. If you truly want best, everybody must be involved. Let's look at America that we're always copying. Nobody runs for an election in America with just money in his pocket. Even if you're Trump that claimed that he did that. People contribute, people support you. People come in and support you. They are literally 211 cover. Nobody takes the whole risk. People believe in a candidate. They believe you can do because all of us, like we criticize Nigeria, but this country offered us so much. Secondary school, university, totally subsidized. Most of us are school here. That's primary school, secondary school, university. How much have we given back? We are all enjoying it. We are professionals. Nigerian government. So what have we done to try and make sure that these things stay? Now, if you identify somebody, you believe all bad, somebody who's a bit better. If you identify somebody you believe in the political space, who's made himself available, since 90% of us cannot make ourselves available,
We're having issues. Network issues again.
I know. While he's coming back, let me quickly read from Lanrio Desilo. Great forum here. I just joined a while ago from Canada where I live. Thanks for setting
90% of us, let's look at you.
Okay, I'll keep reading. Unfortunately, I believe majority have very little to zero hope on Nigeria. Many justifiably so. However, we cannot give up. We are amongst the best Nigerians in terms of the training we were privileged to get. Great idea to leverage on our global XFGCs to start a massive advocacy to help fix the issue. Agreed. Key problem in Nigeria is leadership. Everything else is a subset of this. Yes. Thank you so much, Larry.
Great contribution. Great
Yes.
write-up. Great comment. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I
nice one. Very nice one.
Yes, we have a lot. We have friends and family who are joining us on YouTube and Facebook. I know the comments we've been receiving are from our old students. I just wanted to say that to our friends and family who are joining us, like we said, this is an initiative of FGC Duani, yes, but it's a leadership forum and it's open to everyone. And so please, 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 when you come on the forum, don't be shy. Please participate and type in your comments and questions. The
That's right.
chat isn't just for FGC Idoani, old students alone. We welcome everyone. So, I mean, we know that there are a lot of our brothers and sisters from other schools and our families who have great ideas and great
Just
insights.
a pity
So
network.
we
So bad.
want you to be part of the conversation, please. So just wanted to put that out there because I see that it's only a
Yeah.
student, FGC any student commenting, but you can be
Everybody's welcome. Share with your friends,
everybody's
your
welcome.
relatives.
Yes,
That's right.
everybody's welcome. So I
Yeah.
see Nam is really trying to
Yeah.
get, but
Our brother
yeah.
Nam is really struggling with his
Oh
network
yes,
there. Yeah.
yes.
So I think we can excuse him for now.
Okay, we'll see if he comes back. If not, oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's back. Oh, he's back. I'll bring him back on. We'll
Okay.
yes. Thank you all for your time. We should be rounding up pretty soon. We appreciate your time. Okay, Nam, you're back in the studio, right? Hey, but my brother Muiwa, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I
Yeah.
didn't expect
Thank
any less from both of you.
Yeah.
You were
They've given they've given a
ready.
great good account of themselves.
I know.
thank you for having us. It was a
Thank you
delight being
so
on
much.
this
Thank you
program.
so much for being with us today. Really excited. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nam is still coming back. We
I
just let
think
him
Nam
have
is
his
still,
last word.
still caught
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I mean, he's coming back. So yeah. But
And
thank you. Go
and
ahead.
take note, this is part of our accountability, O'Shea, you know. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yes, that's true.
I think we
That's
can hold you
true.
accountable
Yes,
for just being a product of FGC
that's
alone.
right. That's right.
Even if we
And
didn't
you
Well,
contribute to
and,
your
and you know what I
campaign,
think?
we
Yes,
can hold you accountable.
oh
you
yes,
know
oh you
what I
can.
think right now. If Paul Motade was watching right now and our teachers, I can just imagine how proud they would be.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's right.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, oh
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
I
oh
mean
I
yes.
this is
I
just yes,
absolutely
yes.
accept that.
I am proud of that, and I'm not even. But just imagine Palmotade watching and seeing that these are my products, these are my
These are
children,
my kids.
and
Yeah.
yes, these are my kids.
Mm.
How
Yeah.
proud he would be.
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
just wanted to inform everyone. I mean, on the I'm watching right now live. We are going to have a day with Pa Omotade. We're going to bring him live and direct.
Yes. That's
So
coming
we're
soon.
just yes. I mean, the information will come. We will put the information out there. Watch the space, but we want us to turn out, in multitudes, just to come
That's
and love
right.
on this
Yeah.
man. You
We
know,
want it to be a
yes.
massive
We want
turnout for
everyone, yeah,
him.
active turnout. We want us to turn out and just come and love on him, spend the day with him, and make his day. We will put the
Yeah.
information out there so you would all know. So we have Nam back in the studio. Go ahead, please. Sorry,
I
you're
didn't get what you.
having this.
Yeah.
I'm having
No,
a lot of.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Your
that's fine.
network has
But
been a
we have you
challenge.
back
Yeah.
now. We can hear you. So
But
go ahead.
Yes.
I don't know what. Yeah, I didn't know what was the last thing.
Oh no, we were just. Oh,
It's back off again.
yes.
Now I think
Okay. Well,
we'll
I guess
connect with
we
you.
just yes. We can. I
Yeah.
mean, we just really want to show our appreciation for your time, and we don't want to keep you longer than
Yeah.
necessary. So yeah,
Yes.
probably we just have to be another day with Honorable
That's right.
Nnameka Maduagu. He's back
Yeah.
again. So we just let him just go
I don't
ahead
know what's happening, but I
go,
guess maybe because my battery is running down, maybe it's affecting it.
okay,
Maybe.
So,
so
Maybe.
go
Yeah.
ahead and just give us your last
well,
Your
last
what I
closing
want to
remarks.
do is that
Give us your closing remarks.
nobody should misunderstand what we're saying to mean that politics has to be transactional.
okay.
That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that we need to participate, and we find the best way you can participate.
Yeah.
If
I think
you can
Yeah.
we're still having connection
come
problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
directly support in
No.
any way, okay, but we must give back something to this country. It gave us so much. I believe no bad. If you're here, maybe when I'm in Abuja, it will be better. I don't know whether this has to do with being in Owerri.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Nam. Don't worry, World Nam. It's okay.
Yeah. We
World Nam.
appreciate your tenacity and
We used to call
yeah,
you World Nam
so
these days. Yeah.
relentless
Let
and
can we get some closing remarks from Aremuiwa
yeah.
before we go?
Okay.
So I wish
Let me.
everybody well. I don't country. And Felix, kudos to you. What you're doing is very
Yeah.
I never would have believed that the network in Ekiti would be better than that in Owerri. So that's so you can see what
Okay.
we're doing in Ekiti.
What you're doing in
So yeah,
Ekiti,
this was the right to make it.
that's good. That's good.
Anyway, let me start by saying a very big thank you to the panelists. Dr. Felix Idolo, my dear sister, Reverend Nike Wulawi, my co-speaker, Honorable Nameka Maduagbu,
Don't
an
forget my
experience.
brother Osage and Busola. Busola is
Okay,
behind the scene, and
all
Osage.
right. Osage too, and my sweetheart Busola. I'll say a very big thank you to you all for bringing us up and showcasing us here. I believe that in our own little way, we have contributed to nation building. We've planted seeds. And, I believe these seeds, if properly nourished and nurtured, will grow and grow into big trees. I know there's always a starting point, and I feel this might be a starting point for some people. And those of us that have been in it for a while, this might have been maybe like a refresher course, a redirection, a way to refocus us. And for those who have, actually been watching politics and politicians from, a distance, I think this is a call for you to move closer, be a part of this process. If you cannot immerse yourself into it like we have, if you can't take that plunge, then help us make it happen. Help us make it happen. Because nation building is not one person's task, it's a joint task. It will take all of us to build this nation. Thank you very much, and God bless you for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. Once again, we just want to appreciate you for your time and for believing in us. You trusted that we were going to deliver value, and we hope we have delivered that value. And this forum is all about value, value, value. It's about leadership, raising godly leaders, and we believe we can do it. Yes, building a nation or rebuilding, like I said. Yeah, a nation has been very strong, used to be. Things are falling apart. Some people are pulling it apart, but we can rebuild the nation together. But it takes everyone, each and every one of us. Everyone has a role to play. And please, we encourage all of us to come together and do your part. We won't all be the same. I cannot do what Aremuiwa is doing. I cannot do what Honorable Nnameka Maduagu is doing. And we have so many other brothers and sisters who are in politics, even in our FGC Idoani alumni and other unity schools. But we can all do our own bit, do our own part, and collectively we can rebuild a nation. And hopefully we will work together. So somebody just said, Liberty Arena said, well answered, Muiwa, a lot to do. So we want to keep the conversation going. Keep the chat and the comments, questions coming on our page, which is FGCID Global Leadership Forum. And on YouTube, same FGCID Global Leadership Forum. Oh, yay! I see one of our family as our sister. Thank you, Pastor Naomi Fagbenro. You all remember Pastor Naomi Fagbenro from the prayer sessions we had.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
Reverend Tayo Fagbenro's wife. She said,
Yeah.
where your treasure is, your heart will be So let's take our treasures back to our nation.
Back to our nation.
Thank you
Amen.
so much. Liberty Arena, Femi Oludikwe, we will get there with a conscious effort. Thank you so
Effort.
much. So yes,
Thank
like
you,
you
guys.
said, we're all out here, but our hearts are back home because that's our heritage, that's our roots. So our hearts are there. Let us take our treasures back and let's reclaim our nation back. Having been detribalized, let's go back to being that. I was
That's
talking
right.
to a friend of mine, and she said when she moved to the States where she lives, and she'll hear that, oh, yes, the Yoruba people have this. And she was wondering, what's wrong with these people? Aren't we Nigerians? Why can't the Igbos come to a gathering? She said, that's because we've been so detribalized, the way we
That's right.
grew up.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. One of my very good friends was Igbo, Uzoma. That's my sister. And Sani Muhammad, he's a northerner. My birthday last year, he called me and said, Adenike Olawi. I remember I remember your first birthday from one when you stood outside the class and you were like, well, it's my birthday today and I have some cabin biscuits and drink stuff. But these are stories we can tell. We grew up together, so we're so detribalized, and
Yeah.
son is a Muslim. He's still my brother. So please let us all come together and rebuild our nation. And by the grace of God, we can and we
We will
will.
do it. That's right.
We will
Yeah.
do it. In Jesus'
Thank
name.
you very much. Great
That's
message. Great,
excellent. Yeah.
great way to end the day. Thank you so much, Aremuyiwa. Unfortunately, now we've lost him.
Yeah.
We do look forward to having you again with us, reaching out to people. Please look out for our day out with power, our founding
Omotade.
principal, our mother day. That would be a great event. We want it to be worldwide. We want people to participate
Yes.
and
Yeah.
have a good time out with him. Please, we're going to
Please
be
spread the
mobilizing
word.
toward that. Yeah. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you
guys.
so
Thank you
much.
for being
Watch
with
this
us.
space.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. And
Yeah.
keep the chats flowing and keep the comments coming.
We appreciate you all. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
See
Yes.
you
See
next time.
you. Bye-bye. Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Are we out?